I have been an activist for close to 10 years, and I have never gone back. I have never looked back. I have never cowed. I have never second-guessed fighting for this country. This is not the first time I am in the streets. I was in the streets in 2017, and I have been in the streets so many times, both on political matters and on apolitical matters. And it is because I understand that we have a collective duty as citizens of this country to fight for a better country. To fight female discrimination of women in leadership and in access to opportunities in this country, to fight bad governance, to fight for constitutionalism, to fight for the upholding of the rule of law, to fight for economic equality and equal distribution of resources to the entire country, to fight for a country that loves and is fidel to its constitution, to fight for a better country that we will bequeath to our sons and to our daughters and to the generations to come. It is a patriotic duty to devote yourself to fight for a better country. And I understand that. And this is part of the reason why I have never looked back. The journey has been tough, it has been challenging. I have had goons sent to me by some of your leaders, but I have persisted. I have been clobbered, but I have persisted. I have been mishandled, but I have persisted. They tried to abduct me close to 5 times on the street, but I persisted. They beat us in this recent protest, but I have persisted, just like I have persisted before. They've sent threats and intimidation messages to me, but I have persisted. I am here and still will be here, because I only fear God, and only Him has the power over my life. The giver of life, I believe, will be the one to take my life. I understand activism and active politics is a dirty game, one that you could be easily poisoned for, shot in the head, abducted, or detained without trial. But I have never looked back. And I know there are so many young people out there who feel the same passion, who share in the same vision, who share in the same strength and energy and vigor and vitality to push on, to soldier on, who share in the same conviction to fight for a better country. Let us not give up. Let us not give in. Because we can win this only if we do not give up and when we are united for this cause. I gave you that introduction to paint a picture of how hard activism is and of how difficult this journey of politics is. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the emotionally weak. It is for those with mental fortitude, physical aggression, passion, conviction, and authenticity. Leadership and activism is a calling from above. That I will tell you indubitably, with no doubt in my mind. Many have come purporting to be activists, to be leaders, but they have failed at the test, at the high test of leadership and the high test of activism. Because it cannot be forced. Leadership and activism cannot be forced. It has to come from deep within. This is why I have a problem with most of the activists that you worship today. I have intentionally used the word worship because that is what exactly you do. when you follow people without asking questions. I was unapologetic when I said Kasmuel Makoure was a clout chaser and an opportunist. I stood my ground because my conscience was clear that he was not the leader, the activist Kenyans thought he was. And I'm not saying this in the aftermath. I said this before it happened. I said this before he fell. I said this before his Tower of Babel collapsed. So Kenyans can go through my profile on TikTok, on X, and on Facebook, and they will verify that whatever I'm saying is legit and authentic. And I'm not saying this after Kasmuel fell. I warned you that guy was looking for attention. He was a self-seeking guy with the self-importance of these politicians, with the ideas and the ideologies of grandiosity. And he was a man after himself, a man for himself, thinking on how he is going to capitalize on the Gen Z movement and on how he is going to build his name through the Gen Z movement. And that is how you lost it. You blindly followed a pseudo-activist, thinking that he's your savior, your messiah, because as Kenyans you are desperate for a messiah. And it is a bad thing to be desperate. Remember how you were desperate in your first relationship, how desperate you are, how naive you are. That is how you are following Kasmuel. And that is exactly the same way you are following Morara. Let us observe a 1 minute of silence to remember those Gen Zs that we lost on the streets in June and July, because they deserve this respect. They deserve our acclamation, they deserve our praise, they deserve congratulations. Even though they are no longer alive, we have to show respect to them and to their souls. They are better than me. They are better than all of us. They gave themselves out for this country. They gave themselves fully for this country, for the cause of better governance, and they never looked back. I was at Uhuru Park this past Sunday, and they did not give us a chance to mourn those that we lost. We wanted a proper memorial for the comrades that have fallen. We wanted a proper memorial for the comrades who sacrificed themselves so that we can get better. What they were fighting for, we have not achieved. We are far away from achieving the better Kenya they died for. Let us observe a 1 minute of silence to honor these lost souls. I am not sure if that was 1 minute, but I have a lot of respect, tremendous respect for those that gave themselves up for us. Tremendous respect. And I look forward to us holding a memorial in their honor, a proper memorial in their honor. And may we never forget them. The 60 plus fallen comrades, may we never forget them. The same way we've never forgotten the Mau Mau fighters, may we never forget the economic freedom fighters of 2024. May we never forget them. May we never forget Rex Masai. May we never forget Evans Kiratu. May we never forget Chege. May we never forget Chule and the rest of them. May we never forget the efforts of Mbob Jagi and his movement. They were detained for 32 days with the Aslam and Longton brothers without trial, and they persevered like men. May we give them their flowers without fail. Now, let us go back to what I was discussing. The yardstick for activism should be about consistency, longevity, authenticity, and commitment to a cause. And I say this because of the people you've been worshipping. None of them meet the threshold of activism. They are not consistent. They do not have the longevity needed. They are not committed to any cause. And certainly they are not authentic. And they do not have our best interests at heart. And when I say this, I know so many people will not agree with me. But like Thomas, like the doubting Thomas, you will see for yourselves in the next few years, in the next few months, or few days perhaps, I am seldom wrong. And if this will be the first time that I'm wrong, I am willing to take this drive. I am willing to take this stand. I, James Mulamba, I have given myself fully to the Kenyan people on my own volition, unpressured, uncoerced, not under duress, to fight for a better country. And I am willing to fight alongside true soldiers, true activists who want the same thing that we want. Better governance, a constitution that makes sense, respect to the rule of law, fidelity to our constitution, a better economy, a country that is led by better ethos and better values, and generally a better Kenya, a better country for ourselves and for the rest of the generations to come. I stand to be counted. I am challenging all of you to stand to be counted. When we will be remembering the heroes of the modern day, may we never forget you. May you rise up to the occasion. Have your name inscribed in our hearts. Rise to be counted. When we will sit down and reflect on the past, may we remember you fondly for being a man, a woman who stood east or our ground to fight for a better country. And it is not utopia to think and to dream that Kenya can be better. It is realistic, it is possible, it can be done. The dream of Martin Luther, bit by bit, has fallen into place. The dream of our forefathers and the freedom fighters, bit by bit, has been falling into place. Firstly, we got independence. Secondly, we got to elect our own government, but we still do not feel free. But their dream, their aspiration, their struggle has borne fruit, bit by bit. And whatever we are doing in 2024 will not be in vain. Bit by bit, we will achieve everything that we want. We will get that better governance. Morara Kebaso, this is my personal opinion, is not a genuine activist. He fails on the yardstick of activism. He is not consistent. He does not have the longevity. He does not have the authenticity. And he certainly does not have the goodwill of Kenya. He does not have the best interests of this country at heart. And I am saying this as James Mulamba, and I am convinced without doubt about what I am saying. Where was Morara Kebaso from 2017 to 2024? This is 7 years. Serious activists like myself have been on the streets. Serious activists like myself have attended public participations before 2024. I cannot count the number of public participations I have attended. To give my opinion on what I think should be our best foot forward on CDF, on the utilization of the national resources. I have attended public participations on bills that have been brought before Parliament. Some of these people have never attended any public participation prior to 2024. Most of these people were not activists before 2024. Where were they? And I'm saying this because I understand we need to be sincere with ourselves. We need to be sincere with ourselves. Because we are taking people at their face value. We have forgotten they have a past. Morara Kebaso was campaigning for William Ruto in 2022, in 2021, and there beyond. He has eaten his campaign money, and possibly he has done government tenders. Possibly he has been offered government positions before. Whether he declined or took the government positions is a matter of discussion for another day. But he is part of this government. He is not a newbie in politics. Morara Kebaso was siding with the 10th deputy president. They campaigned for him. And today he pretends that Ruto is so bad that he needs to oppose him. Morara Kebaso was with Ruto in 2023, launching stalled projects. The projects he pretends to be exposing today are some of the projects probably he launched with Ruto. You already saw that video that went viral of him on top of a Land Cruiser with the then deputy president campaigning. With the president launching projects. What has changed? As a leader, you need to have intuition. As a leader, you need to be true to yourself. As a leader, you need to have wisdom. And as a leader, you need to see into the future. We already knew Ruto was bad. We knew he was a thief. We knew how many scandals he's been mentioned in. We knew this was not an angel. Morara went ahead to campaign for this guy. And I know this will not augur well with most of the Kenyans who voted for William Ruto. And I'm unapologetically saying that those Kenyans that voted for William Ruto have put us in this pit that we are in. They are part of the reason why we are in this problem. And they are the people who are quick to defend Morara when we attack him, when we say he's not genuine. Because they see Morara in them. They see their failures in him. And they look at Morara as their sanitization agent. He has made mistakes before, mistakes he could have avoided because we all knew Ruto was bad. Morara is the sanitization agent of all Kenyans who voted for William Ruto. They support him, most of them, because they see a man who made the mistakes they made and is trying to sanitize them. Do we have a shortage of activists that we can listen to? Do we have a shortage of activists that we can follow? Genuine activists who have the consistency, the longevity, the authenticity, and all the best interests of this country at heart. We should unsubscribe from Morara. We should focus. We should be vigilant. We should be alert. Do not just take everyone at their face value. Hata mimi, criticize me. Niulizeni maswali. Go back to my past life. Who was I supporting? How consistent have I been? Do I deserve this? Myself and other activists who've been here, who've never supported bad governance, deserve a chance. We deserve a chance to shape the conversation. We do not want to lead anybody. I do not want to lead the Gen Zs. I want to shape the conversation going forward. I want us to come to a collective agreement that we need a referendum. A collective agreement that we need to go to the streets, we need to demonstrate. A collective agreement that we need to oppose the government. A collective agreement that we need to focus on the solutions, not the problem. Because Morara and Kasmuel were focusing on the problem, and they still are. The problem is the government. Then what is the solution? The solution one is the streets. The second solution is the referendum. Are we discussing this? Because if we are not, we are falling to their trap. And it is possible that Morara is working for some fellows. Have you asked yourself that? We will pick this up another day.